If you're feeling kind of bad about inflation and how high everything is, the cost of pretty much everything, groceries, gas, you know what? Don't you worry, because Department of Transportation Secretary, Mayor Pete Buttigieg, he's got you figured out. And he decided for you that all you need to do is just get yourself an electric car and it'll all be well.
I'm still astonished that some folks, and I felt this, I was testifying in Congress yesterday, some folks seem to really struggle to let go of the status quo.
Yeah, all of you people out there that are still driving cars and trucks that run on gasoline, you're struggling to let go of the status quo. Maybe you're struggling to pay your stinking bills, Pete. That's what he doesn't understand. I can't stand these snobs, and that's what these folks are, who have no idea how hard a lot of Americans work and how little money they have left after they pay their fundamental bills. And they don't live nearly as nice as Mayor Pete. And what a condescending thing to say to struggling Americans, that they're struggling all right. They're struggling to let go of their cars and trucks. No, they're struggling to keep making the payments on them and to put gas in them that's doubled since your boss, Joe Biden, has come into office. Well, we love checking in with our wonderful friend, Karine Jean-Pierre, who is the White House press secretary, to find out, has she learned to say something thoughtful? Let's watch and see.
The president, now that he's back from Saudi Arabia, does the president still believe that Saudi Arabia and the Crown Prince should be considered a pariah, or did this trip change his view about that?
So, as you heard from the president again on Friday, he made very clear that he made his views very clear to the Crown Prince on that during that bilat meeting, and he even said it would be inconsistent, right, for a president of the United States not to speak of our values, not to talk about human rights, and it would be inconsistent, to be quite frank, of Joe Biden not to do that.
I know nothing.
I really think that she was the inspiration for the character of Sergeant Schultz on Hogan's Heroes, even though she wasn't born for probably 30 or 40 years after the show went off the air. But I never can make heads or tails out of what the heck she's saying.
It's a great new offering for Subway. Word salad.
Word
That's
salad.
what I think Subway needs to pick that up. They could sell a lot of it.
You know, you remember that old thing about if you put just a bunch of animals in a room with a typewriter, after a while they'd finally type out War and Peace. It's going to take a while, Karine. It's going to take a long stinking time for you to make a sentence that works. It's just embarrassing. Speaking of embarrassing, there's someone else who has embarrassed the country yet again. We're talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC. She went down to a protest this week because somehow she doesn't like democracy. She hates the fact that the Supreme Court thought that decisions that deal with abortion, which is not in the Constitution, ought to be dealt with by the states. It's like some people on the court actually read the 10th Amendment. But that's not the way she sees it. She sees that it ought to be rammed down our throats by the court. And if they don't do what she wants, then let's get rid of them, or let's add to them until we get enough numbers that they do what we want. So she goes down there, and along with about 16 other members of Congress, usually the typical usual suspects that you would think would do this, they were warned repeatedly not to block traffic. They have every right to protest. That's fine. They don't have a right to block traffic. So the police told them once, twice, 3 times, and after the 3rd time, the protocol is you're to arrest them. AOC gets arrested. Then this is the moment. She pretends that she's handcuffed, puts her hands behind her back and walks away from the police officer as if she's in handcuffs. Turns out she's just play acting. Watch this. There are no handcuffs on her. You know what is on her? A heavy wool coat. on a 100-degree day in D.C. I can understand why she pretended to have handcuffs. It was big drama. She probably thought she should get a Golden Globe Award for that performance. I think she should have got a Razzie, the Raspberry Award. But what I haven't heard anyone explain, why the heck she was wearing a thick, heavy, full-length, or three-quarter length wool coat on a 100-degree day.
I don't know, either that or a sponsorship by a local department store. I don't know. I don't know.
Utterly crazy.